Hello everybody, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today I'm bringing you a traditional versus modern with a 10,000 koku limit. Let's go ahead and start it up. Love this map. For traditional, it is perfect. Unless he knows how to maneuver his troops well, or the person you're facing knows how to maneuver his modern troops well, there's a lot of angles in this map to where you're going to have the advantage, since he will not have the view, the shot. The angle of the terrain and everything will just be, it'll cut his shot. I am not one for words right now. So today's little patch did seem to screw something up with the game. Took me about a good 30 minutes just to get it running. But now it's running, so hopefully it runs smoothly. Alright, let's go ahead and start off by naming off his troops. Today he's bringing in 7 Imperial Infantries. I think we're also playing on very large troop numbers, or extra large, or whatever you want to call it, because there's 200 in his groups. I don't remember or recall them being that big, at least the lines. Next up, he has 1 Yarki and 1 Carbine Cavalry. Now for me, I have 1 hidden ninja unit. That's right, another ninja. Oh well. I have on my front line a Yari Ashigaru. Right here. On my second line I got Naginata Warrior Monks. I got Katana Samurai and Nodachi Samurai. Pretty all-around good troops there and here. On my third line I just got my Toshiba Warrior Monk Heroes. Good troops, extremely high attack. Let's go ahead and switch up that option real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. By the way, if that's how you want to know, just go here and then always. Looks like my settings got tossed around a little bit when I had to redo everything here. So there you go. Their attack is 30. That is ridiculous. And their morale is 20. Now, I also have 3 units of Yari Cavalry over here. And 1 unit of Anabushi Heroine. Yep, Anabushi Heroine. The females of the battlefield. Let's go ahead and get this battle started up and enjoy. Now, first thing I do is I bring in my ninja units. I don't want them, I was thinking, okay, let's just go sword, sword, sword. But when I saw him position his troops here and stop, I knew if I was to just go straight in, he'd probably shoot the crap out of my ninjas. So I told him to throw his bombs, and what do you think? Half of them throw them into the darn trees. I mean, I'm surprised it doesn't kill him. I mean, wow, hello. Hey, look at that, fireworks. This attack goes ahead and kills a good 45 of them, and now here comes the rush. Oh, look at that. At this time he moves over his only veteran unit of Imperials, and he starts firing down on my ninjas as well as his own units. Right now his units is already down to 101, now 198, 94. I mean, they're just dropping. He starts shooting into my units and his own. Now, some people say it won't really affect your guys if you friendly fire and shoot into them, but you're wrong. And I'll show you here. Because once my units break, there's no more attacking from my ninjas, but watch other numbers drop.
Shameful display!
Oh, wrong guys. I say that just dropped a pretty hefty number there. Down to 80, 79, 78, 77. So, friendly fire does actually hit you. Maybe not too bad, but I don't think half his line was really shooting into him that badly. Just that, my ninja units break, they're gone. That's a lot of firepower right there in one line. Way too much. At this time, I decided to rush my whole cavalry unit against his cavalry. He's going to move his carbine units back to get some pot shots at my cavalry. That is a lot of horses. So, he only brings in 1 Yari Ki, which is a bad idea against 3 Yari Cavalries and my Anabushi Heroine. I mean, my guys are just sitting here, and they're just rocking them. down from 80 to 37, 35, and they're gone. So I rush my entire cav line right into his carbine cavalry and say goodbye because they are just going to die. I mean, if you're going to use carbine cav, you better use them right, not just sit them there when you got 3 experienced Yari cavalry coming straight at you. There goes his carbine cavalry, down from 80 to 40 within a matter of seconds. At this time, I reposition my cavalry units to go ahead and take position in the forest here, just in case I can get a flank on these units. I keep my heroine units here. I'm just going to call them heroine. Yeah, they're like crack. Now I notice these guys are starting to shoot, so I'm going to move them a little bit here and there, try to get a better position. These guys, I'm going to push forward a little bit and try to get some bow attacks on them. Not too accurate, even though it says they're accurate. You know, they're actually 45, so they're not that great. But now what I'm talking about with my units here is if they're to run up, they don't have a line of sight here. They really don't. For them to get line of sight, they would literally have to sit right here. Because right here, they probably aren't going to shoot. They seem to not really shoot when they have just the littlest hill in front of them. So I got a big advantage there. They'd have to run all the way up here, which gives me time to charge them and do some damage. I did a little cavalry charge over here, dropping good 42 of their units. Not bad. I kind of forgot I did that. It wasn't a bad rush. There's more to come, so, you know. But after that, I lost one of my cavalry units to, well, their guns. They got a whole line of these things, so what do you expect, right? So at this time, I'm having my heroine units go ahead and just throw some arrows in here. Pretty boring since they're not hitting much of anything. At this time, he decides to move his only veteran Imperial unit up. I believe he's going to line them up, yep, right here. Let's go ahead and stick the fast forward up on this one. Because right now is when they're going to start doing a lot of nothing, just camping, hoping I run over this hill so he has all the angles and shots. This time he moves another Imperial infantry. Nope, that's the same one. It's just a really big line. That's what I'm talking about. I don't remember recalling lines being this big ever, so I'm pretty sure we're playing on like extra large unit sizes here. So I keep my 2 cavalry here. They're hidden away. I got my heroine units sitting here. I don't know why they just didn't want to fire 3/4 of the time. They're just sitting there, even though they're on auto fire. They could be dropping troops, but no, they're not going to. He's going to decide to reline his guys. Pretty boring. Whatever. He's just going to sit back there and do his little thing, so I'm going to sit back here and do my little thing. This whole time, I don't want to sit here and capture this. He gets a couple shots off of my heroine units here, drops 2 horses. Not a big deal. It's only 2 of them. But I don't want to go and capture this, even though it's a morale shrine, because I know he wants to. If I capture it, he's going to be like, okay, he has it, never mind, screw it. But if I leave it open, it's just that temptation. The temptation of it just sitting there open, waiting to be caught. Let's go ahead and fast forward again. Let's see what he's going to do. Now he's going to bring up his general unit when I'm taking bows down to his guys here, finally hitting something. Only dropped 6 so far, but that's something, I guess. He's going to bring his general unit up, which is a gun unit, but his guns have a range of 155. That is very far. That is farther than these units. These units only have a 125 range. But the problem is I have the advantage. He has no line of sight to any of my guys, so he's going to have to really push them up if he wants to do anything. So he's going to dance around here with his general unit, try to figure out a spot to put him so he can get some angles of attack. He's going to bring them up here. Not going to happen. Not going to do anything. They're just going to sit there. He's going to hope I rush up. At this time, I move one of my cavalry units back out of the forest, which they kind of lose quite a bit there because they show their visibility, and these guys open fire. They get some crack shots off and take out a couple of my horses in here. Not a big deal, whatever. These guys start shooting a little bit, getting a couple crack shots at my heroine again. Probably dropping 1 or 2. Not sure how they got the angle. Oh, they must have been shooting my other cavalry then. As they were moving through, they didn't get any of them. I brought this cavalry unit out of the forest just in case he does something stupid with this cavalry. I have a backup force for my heroine. I'm going to go ahead and let him pop off a couple rounds of my Yari Ashigaru here. These units only cost me 450, so I don't really care, even though his general is going to cause some damage to him very quickly. They're going to go from 200 to, let's see what they go to. 177. And then here comes the second round of volleys. 168. He's starting to pop shots at my general, so I go ahead and call my general back because he's not a bow general. He's more of a melee and support general. At this time, I decided to rush my heroine up. Sorry. And these heroine are just, wow. These things will just do massive damage to cavalry. As you're going to see, I rush him up. Let's go ahead and look at his units here. He's down from 40 to 24. 20. And it's just continuing to drop, so he falls in back. So I fall back my units. At the end, he's down to 16 because now 15 because his own line that he moved into the forest here shot a lot of his general units on the way out. He would have still had 20 if it wasn't for them. I think his general learned his lesson, but then again, I'm not sure. Seeing that he's moving his units closer and closer to this forest just kind of worried me. So I was trying to figure out a strategy to keep him from pushing any further into this forest with any more of his forces. And now is when I knew he was going to make his little move for this morale shrine. He knows he got the angle attack here. He could probably set up a couple lines here and get the shots on me to prevent me from a blitzkrieg. This is when I decided to pull both my heroine units and my Yari cavalry, one of my Yari calves, around the side. And my general, I repositioned him back over here with my troops after moving them. I'm going to bring my Yari cavalry over here, set them up over here first. Let my bows take a couple shots off. They're not going to do anything. I mean, kill one or two guys. What would he do? I decided to try to rush him in. Not a good idea. Falling back. I'm going to push back again. I'm going to go around this way because he's got to reposition this entire line. And usually these guys do not start shooting until that entire line is positioned. So I'm like, all right, you're leaving it open for me? I'm going to take advantage of this. Goodbye. Couple pop shots. That's the end of that. My cavalry just runs right through this unit, throwing. I mean, come on, look at this. This is. I don't even remember there being a line here now. It's all gone. These guys are running. At this point, I rushed this cavalry into this line, which was probably a bad idea. It's never really effective running into an already positioned line. But at this point, I also dragged my heroine up to try to do something. They get a couple guys on this entrance here. Ow. I'm sorry, but if I saw a horse running at me, I think I would run. Or at least try to shoot him instead of just standing there. Let's go ahead and see what this heroine can do. Oh, that got her hurt. This is one of my Yari cab breaks, and my heroine are left here alone. And so I pull them back because I know that these two lines here are probably going to do some damage. So, my heroine break. They all die. She gets totally creamed off her horse. This is when I decided to try to rush one of my units up and then decide, bad idea. So I pull him back. He brought his general up again here. At this point, I decided to take my Yari cab from over here. Bring him out of the forest. I'm going to need him on the other side. Because right now, if I was to rush him on this side, it is just a complete death trap. No way in hell I'm doing that. These guys are repositioning their line. You got a 180 troop here, you got a 178 troop here, and you got their generals trying pop shots at my Yari Shigaru again. Now, I remember putting these units out here as a buffer for that anyways, but for some odd reason, I decided to move them back behind my more expensive Nagatata warrior monks. I have no idea why I did that, but thankfully, he doesn't take any action to it. I mean, aren't these guys just great looking? They're ready to kill something. I think it's time to give them that. So here comes my Yari Cav, full unit. Well, not completely full. I'm missing a couple there. But right now I got them upgraded. They're 3 chevron. They got some upgraded melee attack, some upgraded morale, and some upgraded melee defense. I decided not just to pond it all into one thing, and that works out for me. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this. I'm going to push them around over here because their units are not watching this corner here. And right now I got the best angle. Second I go to this little hump here, I'm going to have, the best angle of attack. They ain't going to be able to shoot me. So at this time I go ahead and charge my units. He has no setup line here. This is very bad for him because here comes my cavalry right out of the woods and goodbye. That is one rush I would not want to be a part of. Because this unit just went from 170 something to 144 and dropping. I then send them to just go ahead and attack the general. Forget about these guys. I don't care. I just took plenty of their numbers, and they're continuing to drop. Now I'm after his general. I'm going to go and kill him. Why not?
My lord, their general has fallen. A cat in blue.
Their general's dead. Sucks for them. This time I charge up my warrior monks. No, my Katana samurai, not my warrior monks. I don't really care because I got my line here charging in. Look at that. These guys are going flying. I brought my cavalry back around, had them charge. At this point, their general's dead. One of the lines is shattered. Now running. So, what does this line do? It breaks. It's running. This unit didn't even get to enter the fight. It got shot a couple times and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this unit straight through this forest, which I have the angle of attack, and bring it right into this line. Let's go ahead and watch this up and close action here. At the same time, I'm bringing my cavalry around for a flanking hammer and anvil, or anvil and hammer. Oh, that gotta hurt. Ow! So, this unit's attacking, this unit's going in. Oh, watch this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Like 30 guys just fell over. They're not all dead. A lot of them get back up, but how many guys just flew right there was ridiculous. At this point, I just took quite a few from here. These guys are routing. I'm not even touched this part of my army yet. Rushed the rest of my cavalry into this line. Didn't do too much. They're about to break. But my Katana samurai are still back here wrecking everything.
From the battlefield.
We're about to have another Imperial unit flank and run. I got my Katana. Yeah, we're both white units, Imperial whites, whatever, and my guys are white. But you can tell the difference between traditional and modern, I hope. At this point, he still has a line here. He's popping shots at my warrior monks. Okay, whatever. I got most of your force retreating back here, so your goal. Go ahead and watch this rush real quick. They're gone. Now let's go ahead and watch this rush. For some reason, it seems like they're walking. I mean, these guys are just slow. Let's go ahead and watch this. Oh! I think half their line just got freaking split into two. That unit breaks. My samurai back here break the last remaining unit. Game is officially over. He started out with a way bigger army, way bigger line. He had guns. The only disadvantage he has was no line of sight. And the very bad use of his cavalry and the way he positioned his line. With that, that is a victory. I only brought in three cavalry units plus a heroine cavalry unit. And I still won. Traditional versus modern. Thank you for watching. I'll go ahead and bring you the stats of this game. Hope you enjoyed the video. Tried to get as many close-up shots as I could. It's not as easy as you think because you always want to try to find the best shot. So, hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for this video being late again for tonight. We had a technical difficulty with Shogun today. Thank you, Creative Assembly. Please, continue pumping out your broken patches. Your patches that fix two things. Let's go ahead and give you unit statistics real quick. At 276, you got my Katana Samurai. No kidding. They basically just one unit went around their entire side of their army and just wiped them all out. My Yari Cavalry come in second place at 261. Those guys did fantastic. Next up, my Kisho Ninjas dropped 119 Imperial Infantry troops right from the start. Up next, my Yard Cav, and Heroine unit. And then my Warrior Monks. After that, nothing else. Nodachi didn't get to fight. Yari Ashigaru didn't get to fight much, at least. They only got 4 kills. I don't know how. I don't know where. My bodyguard, 0 kills. My warrior monk heroes didn't even get into the fight. That's too bad. Those guys would have just murdered. On his side, we got the Imperial Infantry at 122. His veteran Imperial Infantry at 104. His general bodyguard is 74, and that's pretty good for a general's bodyguard, but those guns, man, they're powerful and accurate. Next up are his Imperials at 68 and 48, and his Yari Key at 34. There you go. That's what you got, and you have it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the unit names: Katana Slingers, Life Takers. Yari coming for you. And yeah, Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.